I'm sure everyone was waiting for our 5-minute countdown.
And probably feeling like, where did our Tiff and Jack family go? So make sure when you hop in with us, go pop in the comments and say hello so that we know that you're here, okay? Because we love to see your faces. So let's get this part started. Jackie, first hello that we see. So glad that you're here. Today is going to be a Okay, now can everyone hear us? Can everyone hear us? Because I think I was muted, so now we've got to get unmuted. And just give us a little yes, we can hear you if you can hear us. Okay. And the microphone, hold on just 1 second. Today, were you wondering where the heck was the
Timer.
countdown timer? There we go. Now we got a different mic. Okay, guys.
Good.
Okay, love seeing that. Jackie loves seeing our faces. You know what? That's so nice. And
Thank
we do
you.
love you. We're so glad you're
We're
here.
so glad you're here.
Deb, thank you for asking how we are. We're doing very well. Thank you. And if you're new with us today, we are Tiff and Jack. We are the owners of Thought Tracks Coaching and Healing, Inc., which is a coaching and spiritual healing practice that we have here in Salt Lake City. We've been going for 14 years, a good long time. And we also are the creators of Empath, Rise, and Thrive, which is our group coaching and spiritual healing container for empaths specifically. So that's one of our babies that we hold near and dear to our heart. We are also the hosts of this Unstoppable Empath live show. We also have the Unstoppable Empath podcast. Everywhere you listen to podcasts, Unstoppable Empath podcast with Tiff and Jack. And we have a goodie coming for you, an Unstoppable Empath masterclass.
Ooh.
That is going to be happening next Saturday, the 26th.
Okay?
Really? Yes.
Nice. Thanks.
She's
for
so
letting me
excited.
know.
She doesn't know, but now she does. So we'll get you more deets on that in the Connected Empath Facebook group. That's where the masterclass will happen. If you're not in the Connected Empath Facebook group, it's our free empath Facebook group. Come join. Just type in Connected Empath. That's us. You'll see with Tiff and Jack, and we'll get you all taken care of. So today we're talking about all things extrovert/ambivert.
Yes. And this is what I want you to pay attention to, all of you extroverts out there. Now, last week we talked about being an introvert and the blessing of being an introvert. Now we're going to talk about being an extrovert, but what you may find and what we're finding across the board, and you'll have to let us know today, my friends, is that many people that are empaths that feel like they're extroverted, actually, when they learn about being ambivert, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm an ambivert. I am a total ambivert. And I always just was like, oh, I'm an extrovert because I have a lot of extroverted tendencies, but I also have introverted tendencies. So what an ambivert is a person that goes back and forth between extroversion and introversion. And so today's class is going to be really, really important. An extrovert is a person that recharges from being around other people. That's what it means. An introvert is recharging from being alone. An ambivert is recharging in both places, depending on where you are, where your mood is, what your rhythm is, where you're at with your hormones, whatever.
Merritt said, I vary back and forth depending on my moody ass.
Yep, me too. Me too, brother.
Oh, that's so true. Okay, but today we're going to do something a little different. Normally we do. What are you doing?
You just look so handsome today.
That's so nice of you.
I'm like, wow.
Thank you.
I'm looking at you in the camera and I'm like, I need to look at my man.
Where was I? Oh, I know where I was. Today, instead of doing the Rebel Deck reading, we are going to do table topics. And Tiff will be asking 3 questions and I will be answering those. And we're asking you, our listener, you with us, to answer the question as well in the thread. And that way we can get to know you better. And also you can get to know each other better. Right?
Yep.
So we're going to start with the questions. So Tiff, go ahead. What's
This
question
is
number
do
one?
it yourself. Let me show you. Do it yourself therapy table topics. Anyone that comes to our house for a dinner party knows they're going to be attacked with table topics.
Okay, can I tell you something so funny? I was looking through our YouTube videos today, and it's so funny because when you scroll down our channel list, and I look at all the videos, and when you put the mouse over it, you see the video start. Every single one, I'm holding something up to the screen.
You are?
Either the candy jar. Would you like to see what's in the crystal bowl? Here we go.
I was hoping you weren't going to see that because now they're going to disappear.
Can you see what's in there?
I'm going to eat one right now.
Reese's eggs.
Okay, so empaths, as I'm eating this, I want you to empath yourself into my taste buds and tell me, how good is this? Damn. Oh, yeah. Ooh. The peanut butter inside is super, super smushy this time.
Okay. Kelly, I'm sorry you're having connection issues. I can watch, but I can't go live. I have no idea why. Yeah, it depends on your Wi-Fi, and we have a pretty good connection, but you know what? Hell, Wi-Fi happens, right? Hang in there. Hang in there. Easter treats.
That was delicioso.
They are delicious.
Okay, so today I'm asking the questions, and Jack's going to answer, but I would also like you to answer in the strand. So here is the first question. The reason we love our table topics is because when you can ask someone questions, you get to know them a little bit better. And every time I do this on live or on our podcast with Jack, I always learn something new about him. So don't think you know everything about everyone, because you don't. You'll always learn something new when you ask questions. So number one. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what these questions are. I changed them. Okay. Would you rather be married to someone who's a control freak or super easygoing?
Super easygoing.
So did you get lucky?
Yes.
Do you think I'm easygoing?
Oh, yes. So easygoing.
Did you know that I'm easygoing, my friends?
First person in my life to not want to control me.
And I bet you thought I was controlling, right? A lot of people think that I wear the pants and I'm the controller. And it's funny. And it's because I have such a strong personality. But
because she's the Extro Ambi.
Jack is the one that wears the pants and controls everything, except when I don't want to be controlled. Okay, good.
People think you're easygoing.
No, they're answering what they would rather be.
Easy go. Oh, yeah. Who wants to be with a control freak?
Well, I kind of do.
All right, then.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, easy-going.
I like the person that's a very controlled person. Maybe that says something weird about my psyche, but whatever.
Fascinating.
Easygoing, super easygoing. Interesting. What's so interesting, Jan?
Kelly Verstraet's like control freak. Bring it on.
Right.
Yeah. Funny.
I hope that didn't blow everyone's ears.
I think I have the adjuster turned on. I think we're okay.
Easygoing. Most people want easygoing. Yeah. I guess if I was controllable, I might, I don't know. I'm just not a controllable person. So if you're a control freak, it's totally fine with me because I can't be.
Kelly says they can do the shit I hate taken care of. They can do that.
Yeah.
Totally. The controlling one. Someone, okay, who are you that said I am the control freak? Facebook user.
Yeah, please share.
Tell us who you are so we know what your name is. Victoria, way to make it.
Hi, babe.
I know we had early out with our little grand nugget, so her mama had to go get her.
Oh.
And if you don't know, you probably do, but Victoria is our daughter. And she's going to get our granddaughter. I think she already picked up our granddaughter from school. Luann said, not controlling, however, decisive and knowing what they want. Mary, not a nasty control Greek freak. Greek freak geek. Easygoing.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay,
cool.
Number 2 question. And thank you for sharing, friends, because this helps us get to know you. So each time we come back, we know a little bit more about you. Okay.
Oh, Kristen
Leister. Hi, my friend.
She was the one that said,
That you're the control freak. Awesome.
Well, you do a
Whatever-
damn good
whatever
job
it
of living
takes.
life. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the second card. How soon after a relationship ends do you get rid of Momentos?
Well,
And go ahead, dear friends, please answer.
I'm not a big memento gatherer, I guess.
That is true. You get rid of Momentos as you go.
Yeah. Got to keep the clutter down.
Maybe I should answer that question.
How soon do you? Never.
Well, I am an interesting person. I've been married twice, and that's over the last 30 years. And my first husband I was with for 21 years. And I didn't have a lot when I left. So I still have our wedding pictures, and I just don't know if I can ever get rid of those. Maybe the kids want it at some point. But all the things that I acquired in that relationship, I find value still. And the only thing that I don't have anymore is the purse.
Okay, listen. Mara said, that's me. You're gone. I have a bonfire. Deb, immediately. Jackie, I don't. Leona, right away. I still have the Momentos. Jan, 2 years. Jen, before they're gone.
Oh, wow.
I was controlling, but finally realized I can only control my reactions right. Heather, the first card was, do you prefer someone that's controlling or someone easygoing that you're in relationship with? Right? That was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did get rid of my wedding dress. I just threw it in the garbage.
Yeah, you did.
But that was about 10 years after I got
Kelly said totally depends. When I clear, I get rid of them. So when you're clearing all of the energy in the process.
Totally.
I gave my wedding picture to my son. That's a good idea. Out with the old, in with the new, except most loved pieces that you're hanging
Well,
into.
all I can say is if you decided to get rid of me, I'm keeping all the jewelry.
Like I would ever decide.
All the silk scarves and all the jewelry, I'm still going to wear it. So
yeah. I only keep the small things. When they go, the stuff's gone.
Wow.
Not too quickly. Regifting has worked. Don't like a lot of clutter. Bye-bye. All goes by and by. It's a hard question, Heather said that first one. Linda, some right away and a few things keep but pack away. And Victoria's getting a good laugh out of this.
Okay. Our last question is, what is your favorite quote? Please share and go ahead and share.
Okay. Favorite quote. That one came up again, huh?
No, I just kept it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was so good.
Because you keep things. My favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes, is the greatness quote by Marianne Williamson, who is sometimes attributed to Nelson Mandela, but it is indeed from Marianne Williamson, about the thing that we're most afraid of, not failing and falling, but how great we really are. And that's a paraphrase. And it's been a quote that I've loved and felt in my heart for a good long time. And then I love Sonnet 116, Shakespeare. And
share.
We talked about this on our podcast, and I learned that sonnet. I memorized it for English class, like probably 9th grade English. And it's a sonnet that I have felt deep in my soul. And it's either 16 or 114 or 116. I mix those two up. It's one of those. It starts with, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds. That's just the first 2 lines. And it goes on and talks about love, and it talks about the power of love. And when I learned it, and even as I'm thinking about it, if I let myself really think about it, about the words, it brings emotion up in me and makes me cry. It is what it is. It just feels like the truth of heaven as I was reading it and learning it and understanding it. And I memorized it. I put it to memory. And for one period of my life, I was working in a fish cannery in Alaska all day long in rain gear, water, fish guts everywhere. And I would recite it over and over and over in my head to give myself something to think about. And we had a piece of art commissioned by someone right here in this thread, Kelly Verse Straight. Thank you for your gift.
I wish I would have grabbed it.
I know.
So I can show it.
It's a bouquet of flowers, and written behind the flowers is this sonnet. And this was a gift that I gave to Tiff. And Tiff is the person in my life that has loved me that way. And I've had people release me because I'm not their way, and because of all the reasons, right? We all experience this at different levels. And Tiff is the person that has loved me even when she found alterations in me, when she found that I wasn't the person that she got in a relationship with. Now I'm a different person. I was Susan then, I'm Jack now. I've changed my gender. That's a really big change. And she just loves me anyway. And to me, that's the true, this is love. Like, this is just love. And that's why I loved that sonnet all of my life. And now I'm living it. And that was just a really long story for my favorite quote, but it is what it is. And it feels so good when I think about it. So thank you guys for being here with us as I'm going on and on about love and getting all teary-eyed. Thanks for the hugs, Marianne. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And in our relationships and with our primary people in our life, you know, lots of us have lots of flaws and things about ourselves that are quirky, and we fall short and we do all sorts of things, but we really find our person and find a way to love all of that, right? Warts and all. And it endures as we continue on. And sometimes we have to have the courage to release people when that kind of love isn't there. So it's beautiful. Here's a quote. No one can make me feel inferior without my permission.
That's such a great
Eleanor
quote.
Roosevelt is a beautiful, exquisite being. She was such a beautiful place on this planet. I love that quote. That is so true. Merritt says the poem of "Do Not Go Quietly into the Night." I need Merritt, send me that. I would love to read it. Oh, it's by Dylan Thomas. Perfect. Any other quotes?
A lot. Thank you for sharing, by
life,
the way.
Oh, the box of chocolates. That is so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. C.S. Lewis.
I love C.S. Lewis.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, Sylvester Stallone. That's how winning is done. Love that. Accept me or there's the door. Kelly, thank you for reminding me it's 116, not 114. I thought it was. Positive thinking produces positive results.
Amen to that.
If I had known that if I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Like the sun and the moon, truth cannot be hidden. That's true.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
God is like a mirror. The mirror never changes, but everyone who looks at it sees a different image.
Boy,
well,
that's
profound.
That's awesome.
Live and let live.
Amen.
Hold your head up. Find the magic in the moments.
I love it.
That is beautiful. Chuck it in the fuck it bucket.
I know. That's so funny.
I love that so much.
Marianne, that totally cracks me up every time I hear it. It's perfect.
I know. So awesome. Love, 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 love. The deepest fear quote, eat, pray, love. We call it dolce for niente, the sweetness of nothing. Beautiful. Oh, that is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I just feel so filled up with delicious words.
Amazing.
Okay.
There we go.
Let's get into the meat.
Okay, let's do. So today we're talking about extrovert and ambivert. First, I'm going to run through the extrovert topics so you can just like clog it, calculate it in your mind, plug it in,
characteristic traits.
grab onto the ones, anything that really like stands out, like this is me, pop it in. Like this is where we get to go back and forth with you. And then we're going to go through the ambivert list. And I think many of you that think you or know you're an extrovert are going to go, oh my God, I am an ambivert.
And you may find that if you thought that you were an introvert, you may find that the ambivert fits you better. So let's just see. Let's do it.
I love this where it says you cannot touch the present without working on the past. Amen. That's beautiful. Okay, extrovert characteristics. You are energized by others. Let us know if that's you. As opposite of that, introverts are energized or recharged by being alone. Extroverts recharge by being with others. Extroverts are the life of the party. Okay. Extroverts have lots of friends and acquaintances. Extroverts love to talk it out. To an extrovert, me time is we time. As extroverts tend to be less afraid of risk. Extroverts typically like to take the lead, and they tend to look on the bright side. So as we've gone through that extrovert list, let us know if you are like, yep, I'm an extrovert. This is me. I really want to know. We want to hear from you about this. And Tiff, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that now as we move into the ambivert, this might surprise you. So let's just get into it.
Okay, let's jump right into ambivert. So the first thing is, as an ambivert, which means you're both extrovert and introvert, 25 ways. We're going to talk about 25 things. So let's get through this. You like to go to parties, but you don't stay to the end. When you've had your fill, you're like, okay, let's out.
That would be me.
Right?
Yep.
And ambiverts love meeting new people, but not always. Sometimes you don't want to make the effort to start a new getting to know you conversation with someone. It just depends on your mood.
Yep.
To an ambivert, short conversations are just fine. You don't need hours and hours and hours of talking to someone.
Yeah, sometimes you'll want to talk to someone for hours and hours. The other times you're like, no. And for me, as an ambivert, I am kind of a bullet point kind of person. Unless I'm having a really deep, meaningful, pleasureful conversation about something I'm passionate about. Otherwise, I keep things pretty succinct and in bullet points. You'll notice that about me if you ever work with me. It's like, yep, nope, yep, nope.
Like on your Q&A. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, you can be by yourself for hours and then join a group for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
You're equally happy in both situations because ambiverts, you straddle the line between being introverted and extroverted.
Is this kind of blowing your mind, everyone?
Well, I just saw Deb said, yes, I thought I was an introvert, but now I'm thinking maybe I'm an ambivert.
Yes. That's why this is so important.
You can go to the movies by yourself or with a friend. Either way, you're happy about it.
Yeah, I would never go to a movie by myself. That lends a little bit more into the introversion, and I would definitely have to at least go with one person. But I would typically rather go with Jack than probably anyone else.
I could go to a movie by myself. I could go to dinner by myself. I could go to a movie by myself.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But then I am an introvert.
Because I love to share. I love to share an experience with at least one other person, if not a group of people. That's why I love Facebook. A lot of people take a break from Facebook. I have never one time in 12 years of Facebook ever felt the need to take a break from social media, except when I had my brain injury and I had no choice with that. But I'm very, very in and out of extroversion, introversion like this. So it's just a really fascinating way to be.
There's some big ahas. This is Deb, especially, is like mind blown about this. Okay. Ambiverts can stay in the back and listen, but will definitely speak up if they have something to say. You're comfortable in many different friend groups. You socialize with various circles and appreciate each circle for what it can offer you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just speak up about these, and any of you throw your comments in.
Well, I have to say this. I love diversity. In fact, here in Salt Lake City, we live in one of the most diverse areas of Salt Lake. And I love it because I love cultural diversity, religious diversity, spiritual and belief system diversity. I love it all because I glean something from each group and each belief system or thought paradigm that really enhances my life. It's like this amazing tapestry, and I freaking love it. If anyone comes to our parties here at our house, it'll blow your mind with all the different kinds of people that are here. People are like, wow, I've never been a part of cliques or like groups of certain vibrations. I just like all different kinds of sparkly vibrations coming together in one connective space. I absolutely love it.
Okay, as an ambivert, you socialize a lot, but you definitely need your downtime. In fact, your perfect day is spending part of that day by yourself and part of the time with friends or family.
Yep, that would be me.
At the end of a group dinner with friends, you want to go home and be alone. You like to unwind.
That's how I am.
You like to unwind by yourself.
Yeah, I like to be with you, but it's because you're an introvert. If you were an extrovert and you were really high energy, I would have to take time after we go to dinner to be by myself. Aren't you glad that I don't have to do that? Because you like to snuggle and go to sleep.
I am such an introvert that loves to be with his wife. Okay. You don't mind talking to strangers as an ambivert, but you don't feel obligated.
Yep.
People find you genuine and easy to talk to. You're generally game for any activity, but not long periods of time. So instead of hiking for 5 hours and having constant chatter, ambiverts like you are more game for an hour or two, and then find yourself, for an hour or two of kayaking or walking with a friend rather than an extended.
I don't like to do things for long periods of time. And the thought of like traveling with a group of people, like to go to Italy or something, I could lose my mind, but I can go to Italy and get my own place and go out to dinner and meet friends and have a great time and then go back to my place and do my own thing the next day. Like that really appeals to me. But traveling with groups of people and staying with that whole group for, 7 or 8 days, I can't do it. I literally cannot do it.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. We're not talking about introverts today. We're talking about ambiverts. Okay. An ambivert is typically not easily embarrassed.
True.
Wouldn't that be a
true
dream?
That I rarely get embarrassed, even when I think I should be embarrassed. I am, in fact, oh my gosh, I have this thing to tell everyone. So my housekeeper, there was something that I needed her to work on. Guys, she left and I stood in the room to take a photo of the thing I need her to make sure and get next time because she forgot to get it. And I was standing in front of the mirror and I was naked. Took a picture, sent it with my naked bod in the mirror, showing her in the room what she needs to work. And I was upset about it, but I didn't feel embarrassed. And I'm like, oh, F it. Who cares?
That is epic. Okay. Any introverts here? I'm an introvert. Like, do you get embarrassed easily? I have had the red face, embarrassment face my whole life. Like in class and the teacher calls on you. And if you don't know the answer, then my face would go beet red. Then I could feel my beet red face. Then I know everyone's looking at it. I feel like flames are shooting off. Anyone else feel that way? Maybe it's only me. Maybe I'm the only introvert.
I think maybe my face has turned red twice in my life.
I can't even believe that.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, you guys. Anyone else get embarrassed or is it just Jack?
No, I know lots of.
I think this, yes. Leona, is that you and I? Are we there together on that? Yes, Jack, that has happened. Thank you, Marianne. You guys, I just have always, the thought of never getting embarrassed about anything. God, that'd be amazing. Amazing. Okay, ambiverts. You definitely like your own company, but you don't want to be by yourself all the time.
100%.
Thank you, Deb. Kelly, no, I still totally blush.
So, Kelly, that's a real thing. You do blush.
Oh, somebody just said, Facebook user, I'm super social, but I do not like bed and breakfast because the morning small talk when I'm on vacation is irritating. I'm with you. Okay, I am totally with you. It's why I don't go to Dutch Brothers Coffee. Their coffee's delicious.
That's true.
But they want to have a full-on conversation with what you've been doing all day.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
like,
wouldn't
don't
go there because
talk
of that
to me
too.
because I'm just getting my coffee and I don't want to have a conversation. If I get in a Lyft car or an Uber, I'm like, don't talk to me. I'm on my way. Zip it.
Yeah, Dutch Brothers is the worst because they're like, so what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
But then sometimes they don't pay attention and they ask you 3 times. Well, just
so
like
authentic.
I said. Leona, yes, Jack, I embarrass easily and blush. You and me. Heather thinks blushing is cute. That's cute. Jan, I talk to strangers. That's awesome. That really is. Facebook user Ambivert, definitely. I love movies, dinner, and traveling by myself, but then love social outings, flip back and forth depending on the situation. That's fantastic. It really is. Okay, ambiverts are pretty even keeled in most situations. Kristen, that was Kristen Leister about the bed and breakfast. I'm so with you on that. So pretty even killed. Do you feel like now that you're identifying as an ambivert, do you feel like you're pretty even killed in most situations? Were you going to say something? No. Okay. Your friends find you stable and consistent, and employers like hiring you because you're dependable. You don't hog the spotlight, but you're a really good team player.
I feel like it's all very, very true. It's nice to know this about yourself if you are an ambivert, because it won't always resonate when it's like, well, I'm an extrovert sometimes. And then people are like, what do you mean? And this is because many extroverted empaths are ambiverts, actually, and some introverted empaths, because it's like, well, it depends on my mood. I hear that so often. Well, it depends on my mood. And I'm a very even keel type of person. And I'm super flexible, and that I can oscillate between extroversion and introversion very easily. It feels very natural to me. And I think because of my very strong personality, and I'm quite bold in what I say, some people may think that I'm not as flexible or as even keel because they have stories about bold talkers or something. But it is really interesting when you go through these and you can really reflect, and it's like, oh my gosh, I really am an ambivert.
And was that, did I just talk about the mild-mannered one?
No.
Okay, so when describing you, people would use terms like mild-mannered. You're not the chatty Cathy that has to say something in every meeting, so this is at work, but you're also not the wallflower that gets overlooked.
So let me ask you, do you think I'm mild-mannered?
I do. I really do. You're very decisive. You can be a street fighter. If someone tries to control you, you will take them down. But you're really peaceable, very flexible, easygoing. You're also very assertive and very clear and direct, but you're super loving. You don't want to start fights or conflicts or anything. And I would definitely call you mild-mannered until someone tries to control you, and then you will let them know.
Yeah, but that's just boundaries. You can be a mild-mannered person and have strong boundaries. And I think there's a misnomer out there that it's like, if you are assertive, or if you have good boundaries, or if you stand up for yourself or do self-care, you're not a people pleaser, you can't be mild-mannered. And I would definitely consider myself mild-mannered, but I can guarantee you most people in my life probably wouldn't see me as mild-mannered, but you do, which is really interesting.
Yeah, you're the most fiery vixen I know. But you are a peaceable, mild-mannered. The way you move through life is very easy unless you get crossed, unless somebody's pushing your boundary or somebody is being, disrespectful. Then you don't just bend over. You'll stand up and smack them down. Smack them down.
Which, by the way, I don't really smack people down.
Yeah, like Clark Kent, mild-mannered until his alter ego appears. And I like that. That really is the truth. And I had a question for you, Jan. What is an impact player? It says, I've been told I'm an impact player. And that's at work, and it's probably under the mild-mannered maybe. So I'd love to know what that means to you. Like Jackie said, just don't back me in a corner and we will get along just fine. Right? And yes, then everyone runs when Tiff is, you never really do it. Like if we get in a conflict because I'm being very controlling or not trying to have you not feel your feelings. Oh boy, if that's not the conversation, right?
Between men and women. It would almost sound like I get very volatile and aggressive. The only time I ever get aggressive or volatile is if someone is I am in a physical altercation. Then most people would do that.
I'm not talking about physical violence and aggression, but I am talking about someone that is very clear cut. You're not floppy when you get into a situation.
Yeah, I'm not a wishy-washy person.
You know how you feel. You know what you think. You give yourself permission to feel and think whatever it is that's going on for you.
Yeah.
And that is not a wishy-washy person. That's a person that will stand up and say, no, I've had enough. Jan says, someone who gets things done without being asked. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Tracy, people relate my fiery attitude at times to my red hair, right? Okay, and my response, you don't know the half of it. Right, there you go. Okay, ambiverts tend to be really good negotiators because you listen, you're an active listener as well as a talker. So you'll share, you listen and you share. People feel like they are heard when they're around you. Whereas a full extrovert, and you tell me what you think about this, would be more take the full spotlight, take up more of the space.
Extroverts sometimes can feel obnoxious to people because they take center stage and they won't shut their yip yap. So they'll just talk. And I've definitely been there where I'm talking. If I feel really passionate about something and I have a lot to say about it, I have a lot to say. But I also know that there are many, many times I just am very, very quiet and I listen and observe.
A lot. You're a huge observer.
I think I might be more quiet and observatory than a constant talker. So, but in my
job, it depends on where you are.
In my job, that's all you'll ever see is me talking because I'm teaching things and teaching classes and doing healings and work. But when I'm not in work mode, I'm typically very quiet unless I'm chatting with my friends and laughing. And friendship to me is about having a good time and laughing. Like I just love to laugh and I laugh a lot every single day.
Which I think is probably more over to the extroverts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm always in communication with people.
Yeah. Linda said it was a lesson for me, boundaries. Maybe Linda, are you talking about, seeing what needs to be done and getting things done and being really good at doing things? Boundaries, that was a lesson for me, boundaries. But I think empaths have a hard time with that because we want to help and we don't know where to draw the line.
Well, and we don't
all the way to exhaustion.
We do not want to feel someone feeling bad. One of the reasons we don't set boundaries as empaths is because we can feel how the other person feels and we want to avoid that because it feels terrible to us. And so sometimes we'll just take it and let them have their way so we don't have to feel they're upset. And that's not talked about a lot. But like I said, it's something that needs to be looked at because you have to be willing to be uncomfortable to set boundaries because you will feel people's discomfort with the boundaries that you set.
And that's another topic for
what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Jan said, when I bump into you in the world, Tiff, because Jan, we share neighborhoods. When I bump into you in the world, Tiff, you seem quiet.
Isn't that interesting?
She is, right? I mean, it really is.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah. That's how it is when we go places. And I'm not shy at all. I'm the introvert, but I'm the one that will start and kind of move the conversation. But Tiff kind of like becomes the observer and the watcher in that type of scenario.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had an experience that was really unique. So when clients come in to see us, I am very, very talkative, very strong, very direct, and very, compassionate. So I do my work and I take it very seriously. But when you encounter me, like Jan said, in life, I went to drop off a gift to one of our clients and I was very quiet and a little standoffish. And she thought that I was upset or something was terribly wrong. And that was just normal for me because she was such an extrovert. She's like, is Tiff okay? Like she was very quiet. And I'm like, yeah, that's me in my natural element.
And this is a perfect picture of an ambivert, right? An extrovert and introvert. And when you come into those settings, you are a different kind of person. But on the calls, like we're like front and center, talking.
Yeah, and I will typically, outside of a pandemic, I will typically wrap someone up with a hug and kiss their cheek and not say anything and just hold them for like 15 seconds. And people are like,
they love it.
What's happening? But I am pretty quiet unless I'm at a party and I'm drunk and then I'm just like a silly girl.
Okay, the next one, ambiverts tend to make friends easily. While extroverts have tons of acquaintances and introverts have a small group of close friends, ambiverts are somewhere in the middle. You could have a nice circle of inner friends and a medium circle of acquaintances. So let us know.
Yep.
Another one is that as an ambivert, you tend to be able to regulate your emotions well. So if you get angry, you tend not to stay angry for too long.
Yeah, that's very true. You stay angry way longer than I do. Are you
It takes
upset?
me longer to work through something for sure.
Yeah, I let go of things very, very quickly. Like I feel my feelings and cry and have a little fit within myself. And then I literally forget about it. And sometimes Jack will bring something up and I'm like, what? When did that happen? What happened? Now what? And he just says, I can't believe that you don't remember. And I'm like, I'm over it.
The next one, you're empathetic. Go figure, right? You're an
Empaths.
You're often the one helping a friend or coworker. People often come to you for advice when they need a sounding board, someone that will listen. Ambiverts, while you have a social life, you also love doing things alone. So you could go for that long hike and then come home and join the campfire with all your pals.
Yep, totally.
Again, mild-mannered. You're not the one screaming at the concert, but you also aren't the one sitting there stiff as a board either.
That is so me. That's so interesting at a concert. I get into it a little, but not near as much as some people. And yeah, it's like you're right in the middle. You get excited and you have fun, but you're not the wildest of the wild, and you're not a wallflower either. You're just right in the center.
Friends might refer to you as an extrovert with introvert tendencies, or an introvert with extrovert tendencies. That's the classic definition of being an ambivert. And extroverts, on the other hand, some days you feel super social, and other days you feel like you just need your own space.
Totally.
Even within a day, you can swing back and forth.
Absolutely.
And it's just fine with you. Like you're pretty okay with the fact that sometimes you're extroverted, sometimes you aren't.
Yeah.
Classic ambivert. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're an ambivert and you're in your extrovert, because I lean more toward extrovert, I think, for sure. And I have because of my empath, and I'm a Heyoka empath, so I have some characteristic traits as an empath that are a little bit different than the typical empath. And I don't really have a filter. And so I can say things and get away with saying things that most other people would never, ever say. And some people can look at that and think, oh, she's definitely an extrovert. I cuss like a sailor. I try to be respectful of people that are sensitive to swearing because of belief systems that you have because of religion or whatever. Like I'd never go over to my mother's and say the F word, but I use the F word all the time. And, I'll talk about things that a lot of people would think are inappropriate. When we talked about in our class a couple times ago about oversharing, I have had a tendency of sharing sensitive information or information that may not be appropriate for the typical Joe. I'll just say things, and I can typically get away with it because of the way my energy moves. And people a lot of times think it's funny, and it can feel very freeing to other people because they're like, oh, well, I feel that way, but I would never say it. So now I don't feel so alone in the world. But it's a really interesting thing because then sometimes I say nothing. And I'm just really quiet and I just listen and understand. And even if I feel like I have something to say about it, if I don't have enough energy to exude, through what I'm saying, I won't say something. And so it can be very confusing to people because sometimes I'm very quiet and what would appear to be withdrawn when I'm just in an observatory stage. And then when I'm like, I am right now, where I have so much energy, Jack's like, oh my God, listen to her on the podcast. You're like, you laughed.
She was just getting more excited, more excited. Woo! Just bigger and bigger.
Yeah. But in a couple of hours, I'll be in silence again and I'll just be sitting
super
and
quiet,
thinking and chatting with someone or reading a book or whatever. So I'm sure
Sheila said, oh my gosh, I get that. I get told that a lot. I get away with the same things that nobody else would ever say.
Yeah.
Tracy said, absolutely. Growing up, I had mood swings change quickly. Plus, I'm a Gemini.
Yeah.
Mel said, I left a comment about not having a filter and my sarcasm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. The very last one is an ambivert is not drained after talking to people. Many introverts have a very hard time conversing with people because their go-to happy place is being alone. Extroverts, on the other hand, can talk for hours and still keep talking. You, the ambivert, are that really nice balance of talking to people and having great in-depth conversations, but people don't feel drained talking to you.
Yeah, I would say the only person that really drains me when I have a conversation is someone that is very negative and refuses to see the positive of a scenario. I struggle with that so much that I have to get out of the situation very quickly because it just feels so out of alignment to me. And I do operate from a very positive standpoint. Most of the things I think about are quite positive, and I get very excited about life. When I hear someone in victim mentality, like, yeah, these terrible things are happening, and I can never get past this. And if something bad happens, I know it's going to happen to me. That kind of thing is so, and I don't really encounter that many people like in my everyday life that are like that, probably because of the law of attraction. And I don't ever think that way. So when I do hear it, sometimes in our practice, we hear things like that, but the people that come in to see us are typically ready for a change of thought pattern so that they can start creating more of what they want in their life, and they're willing to look at things differently. But the only time I truly feel drained after talking to people is the negative Nellies. Whoa. It is like, it's the thing to make me go, "Ew," and go to sleep. Yeah, I don't do that very well. So there you have it, everyone. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
I just was looking for our masterclass. I mentioned our masterclass that will be happening March 26th at the time is not final, but it's a Saturday. It's a week from this Saturday. We're doing an Unstoppable Empath masterclass. It's a 60-minute class with 15-minute Q&A after. The focus is going to be for empaths and really maintaining that empowered stance at work and feeling really solid in your energy at work. So that will be the main focus. It will be held in our Connected Empath Facebook group. If you're not a member, just go to Facebook, type in Connected Empath, and it's a group by Tiff and Jack. That's our free group, and that's where we'll be holding. That's where the registration form will be found to register. The class will be held on Zoom. So it's going to be amazing. Other than that, we'll be back again next week, same time, same place with our live show. If there's ever a topic that's like a burning desire that you would love to have us teach on or talk more about, let us know. Send us a DM on Facebook. You can always send us an email to teamempath@tiffandjack.com and let us know what you would like. We'd love to hear from you. So let us know. Thank you for being here. It wouldn't be the same without you. It's always fun. We do the podcast, same topic right before, and then we jump onto our live show, and it's just really amazing to see your faces, see your comments, and get to know you.
Yep. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here, everyone. We send you our biggest hug ever. Go love yourself to death.
To life.
We love you. Oh, yeah, to life. That's better.